Hi, I'm Max Walker&Williams, and today I am in the middle of nowhere.
Definitely middle of nowhere.
I've come to see my friend David Taylor, who you will have seen from our other videos. David is one of the owners of Partington Structural Engineers, and he does a lot of work with Walker&Williams when designing the hotels. He's going to be instrumental in the design of Nicholas Street, which Bill and I have just done a tour of, which will be on the channel soon. David's bought a castle. Well, it's not a castle, it's a mansion that looks like a castle. He's going to tell us all about it in a second. And so he invited me down to come and have a look here in North Wales. We're just next to, are we in Snowdonia?
Yeah, just on the border.
We're just on the border in Snowdonia. It's an absolutely stunning location, which you guys will see shortly. And we've just come to have a look around and learn a little bit about the building and how we've got to where we are. Hi, David.
Yeah, hi, Max. Thanks for coming along and taking that 3-hour journey.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's
you get off the motorway and you think, oh, we're nearly there. And you look at the thing, an hour and 45 minutes.
Say it's in the middle of nowhere, it is in the middle of nowhere, but it's such a picturesque place. You see why Anthony and James decided to buy the place, and then obviously we're going to convert it into residential units or something along those lines. But
I understand why it was built. I understand why it's here, because actually when you look, and Bill's going to get some amazing drone shots, I'm sure. But when you look at like the hills and then the water and the ocean and the sea, it's stunning. And if I won the Euro Millions and I wanted to just sort of like go and live in the middle of nowhere, this would probably be the place. Okay, so tell us a little bit about it then. So it's not a castle, is it?
No, it's not.
Or it is a castle.
But we call it a castle, but it's technically not a castle.
Cool. It's cool.
It sounds, and it does look better. Yeah. It's a Victorian mansion. Originally, it's a Scottish architect. The gentleman that had it built for himself, he visited Scotland, stayed in a castle. He lived in Wales. He decided, I want to build the same castle I stayed in. So he had it replicated and built here for him to stay. Again, it was done by an Englishman, obviously in Wales for a Scottish. So it's a
Scottish castle built by an Englishman in Wales.
Yeah, so it's a bit of an eclectic mix of but again, and it was built in like it's 1876. So it's
new.
So it's quite
Victorian.
It's quite very Victorian.
Yeah.
And obviously the stone facade is really a facade. It's not really all stone. It's a traditional built brick Victorian building, which is actually an advantage, even though it's a ruin, because of the nature of the way they built, the Victorians built everything, they built everything robustly, so it's quite structurally sound, even though there's no roofs, no walls, no floors.
So it's good from a developer's point of view, because it looks a mess, but actually it's structurally really sound.
Yes.
So the bare bones and the skeleton are there and strong. Yeah. It just needs everything putting back.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good news.
Quite a lot of work, but again.
And when I say new, it's obviously not new, but it is new compared to like when you think of a castle in Wales, particularly in Wales, you think of like 1700s,
yeah,
like medieval.
Medieval.
Wales has got the history.
Carnarvon. If we could have got a castle, and it had been a real castle, then you'd probably get that would have been ideal.
But then you're into. I mean, is it listed?
Yeah, it's a strange listing. It's listed as is. So in other words, it's listed as a ruin.
Right.
So, but it doesn't mean we can do anything we want to.
Yeah.
But they
recognise the fact that it's not mint.
Yeah. So we don't have to bring it back to its original features internally.
Right.
But what we're in discussion with the heritage at the moment, and we want to bring it back to as almost original as we can because of the style of the building. So exterior we're going to repair. Yeah. We're going to put all traditional type styles of windows in. Yeah. But internally we'd like to have it a bit of a modern twist. Yeah. They have looked at one of the towers has collapsed, which we'll probably show you in a minute when we walk round. We actually want to build that as a glass box. Wow. So rather than try and replicate the old building, and they quite seem to be on board potentially with that idea, because we're not trying to recreate Disney. You don't want like a film set. I'm a purist, and I believe that the old stuff should be well looked after. Yeah. But you shouldn't be building new stuff to make it look like old stuff. The new stuff, and done well, it can work. It can really highlight each other. And the original chapel which was part of the building, that's what we're going to restore to the original.
Wow, okay.
That is one of the planning requirements.
Yes.
But to be quite honest, as an apartment for a residential unit, what's more better than having a chapel roof and all that. So to us, it makes sense anyway.
Yeah, of course, it makes commercial sense because
commercial sense as well as the planners want. So.
Okay, so you mentioned apartment there. So what's the dream then? So what's the end goal?
The end goal is 21 residential units.
Okay. Apartments.
Apartments. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the extensions at the rear, we can look at doing either 5 residential units or duplexes.
Okay. When you say residential unit, at your house?
A house.
So 5 houses, 21 apartments.
Okay. If we.
Okay. That's the plan.
That's the plan. Yeah.
And you're in planning now, or?
We've been nearly a year and a half in planning. We've as we said on the last time we met, it should have been about a 7-month, 8-month planning process, but it's now we were in the last stages of ecology and arboricultural checks. We're doing in the final crux of the heritage statements and the heritage planning.
Yeah. And that's to say what you intend to do with the building, is it? Or, okay, right.
And just show what we're going to return back to original, more detailed information.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
it's just putting down in writing what you intend to do with the building in detail, with pictures and things.
Yes.
Right. Okay, that's good.
And that's we're probably like a month off, 2 months off of hopefully getting it into that process so that they can put it in front of the committee then.
Right, okay. So, and then they say, yeah, we're happy with this, or they can say, no, we're not, or they can ask for more detail, I guess. Yeah,
with the Welsh planning system, it's slightly, you do it in reverse. You go out to consultation first. So,
really?
So I did we've done all the pre-consultation with all the residents and everything else. And we've done all CADO heritage first. Then I submit a document to the planners. And then they put it into planning. So it's a committee. It just goes to committee at the end.
Right. But how do they know what you've got to present what you want to do first, surely, for them to consider it?
Yes, that's what we've.
But you ask them for their consideration, and then you say what you're going to do.
Yeah. So we had a pre-application for the consideration at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then we did a full planning out. But in Wales, you've got to do everything up the reverse order.
Right.
So we've got to get the residents. We do the residents consultation ourselves, not them.
Right. Okay.
So we have to write to all the local council members.
Yes.
Get them on board, and they have to write to each individual, like the water department, the CADO, which is the heritage. We have to write to them individually, and they come back with statements before we submit.
Which is exactly what happens in England, except the authority does it.
Yeah, and then so everything's all kind of that CADO said they're quite happy.
Right. Okay.
So regarding the heritage side of it.
Who's CADO? Sorry.
CADO is it's the Welsh authority for like the heritage, like English heritage.
So it's like heritage, England heritage, Okay. And it's the Welsh version of.
And they look on board and look after all the heritage. So there's no significant heritage structures that we're going to affect nearby either.
Yeah.
Because even though this is a listed building, the way it's listed is not a heritage.
Yeah, it's not a heritage asset.
Asset.
Okay.
And then once we get all that information to the planners have their meeting and decide whether or not they agree with what's been said.
How interesting. So we've got a planning process, because obviously we're both based in England, so we've got a planning process that's in reverse. We've got a Scottish castle that isn't a castle, built by an English guy in Wales, and we've got an old building that isn't actually that old.
Yes.
That's a ruin that's structurally sound.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
That's it.
That's the long and short of it. Right, okay. Nice and straightforward. Should we have a look? Can we have a look inside?
Yeah, cheers, Matt.
So what was the building sort of last used as?
It was last used before it was actually a residential house.
Was it?
That was it. Yes.
Wow. That's what it was built as.
It's built as a residential unit, and over its lifetime, it's been used as a hospital.
Right. Okay.
It's been used as a nursing home.
I take it the hospital was during the war.
In the war, yeah. And then a nursing home, and then it became a hotel.
Right. Okay.
And then the gentleman that converted it back into a residential unit was the last person that had it, and then unfortunately, during his ownership, there was a fire.
Right.
And then it became a ruin. So for the last 40 odd years, it's not been used.
So it's just sat like this for 40 years.
But it's got worse and worse over the last 40 years. The roof's collapsed in.
And then it gets worse quicker. You know.
Yeah. But for the last 40 odd years, it's been just left as this.
Wow. So, but I mean, you've got all the detail and all the bare bones of like such a stunning property, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, okay. Amazing. Yeah. Come on, then show us around.
Yeah.
So this is obviously the entrance.
This is it.
This would have had a roof on it, yeah?
Yeah, this would have had a roof on it. This would have been the main entrance.
Yeah.
There'd have been obviously the original main doors and a second set of doors here.
Yeah.
So it's like.
I mean, you can actually see just the hinges.
The hinges.
Left. Yeah, the hinges.
And obviously you can still see the Victorian tiles. This would have been the lobby.
Yes.
As
boot room or whatever off to the right there.
Yeah, yeah. And then we walk through to the main.
Hey, did you have to have an asbestos survey?
Yes, we did actually.
Did you?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Well, what did they check?
Well, we had to.
Which bit?
Yeah, the whole. They had to walk around the building and do a full asbestos survey.
Oh, did they go?
Yeah.
We'll look under that rock.
Yeah. All surveys had to be done. Again, I think. Oh, we got away with the timber and damp survey. I think the Matt just didn't needed one of them. We got away with that, but
brilliant.
Yeah.
Amazing. What's your EPC rating?
I think it might be an F. Maybe who knows?
Yeah.
Oh,
might be.
No, I'm going to say it's an A.
Yeah.
for finance. Anyway.
What I love is look at the radiator still on the wall at what was obviously first floor.
Yeah.
What that does do actually is give you a pretty good indication of where the floor's changed, David.
Yes.
So you can see, look, what I was about to say is the radiator gives you a good indication of where the floor height would have been, and that tells you how big this room would have been. Really grand, but actually...
Yeah, original floor was a lot lower.
You've got the original floor, which was a lot lower, and then they raised the floor up at some point, much later.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why have they done that? You don't know?
It's probably
because obviously it's not a cheap thing to do. Is
it? Probably to give because of the windows.
Yeah.
To give like a level with the windows. Somebody decided on that. I wanted to have a level floor with the windows, so I could just look out on that because the view's obviously going that way.
But then that begs the question: why did they do that in the first? Like it was built obviously by design, so why not have it done right in the?
Obviously.
How strange.
Yeah, and obviously this originally had a glass roof.
Right, but that was impressive.
Yeah. And that's the Victorian glass roof. That's the thing we've got to try and maintain and keep back. That's one of the features of VAS.
And you'd want to anyway.
Yeah,
surely.
we do. We definitely.
Yeah.
The other thing was a gallery walkway staircase that went all the way around. They haven't asked us to keep that.
Right.
But we might put that back in just purely because I think it'll work.
Reinstate it and it'll work because the stuff that adds value, like it's worth doing. You make money on doing the right thing, which is great, isn't it? Because you're doing the right thing and you're making money.
Yeah. Oh, and obviously learned from what I've seen you do at your places, sometimes adding that extra stuff in somewhere brings more value to the building than you could imagine just of the cost of it.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's a thing that's very, very easy to get right, but it's also very easy to get wrong. And what I mean by that is you can spend big money on projects. I mean, I've never done anything as, forgive me, crazy as this, or as far gone as this. But on the stuff that I have done, you can spend money in the right places, and you get £2 for every pound you spend. Yeah. But the reverse is true as well. You can quite easily spend big money on the wrong thing and never see it again. Just as we're walking through, just stop to have a quick look at the fireplace. Yeah. And it's a substantial size, isn't it, David?
Yeah, because obviously this is the main atrium area, grand area, formal area. Probably where it actually had their functions and eating in here.
Yeah. So there's a big dining table in the middle.
Big dining room. Yeah. But again. Yeah, it's one of the largest fireplaces. We don't know what we're going to do with this, whether or not we're going to repair it back and keep it as a feature. Yeah. It's just what happens up with this space at the end of the day.
Okay, yeah.
I would love to bring it back. Yeah. But again...
What this is will dictate what that looks like.
And again, like you're saying before, what we spend, is it going to gain a value to the apartment or to the building? Yes. Or, because what I don't want to do is put a mock thing back in there and just... It might be a case of we end up just blanking it off and it not be used. Or because of to bring it back to its original... It's going to be quite expensive because there's not a lot of stonework left. Yes. So I think it'll definitely depend on the room. Yeah. If the room can carry the fireplace, it's money well spent. Yeah. I think if the fireplace is ridiculously big for whatever this ends up being, then you blank it off like you say. Yeah. I mean, because of the stones, it started to fall away, isn't it, and break up? Because I'm guessing it's quite thin because it's decorative. Yes. Yeah. And obviously because of the age and all this. The fire that was in here as well in the building has not helped. So, is that the original opening? What's this thing? No, you might think it's original opening. Yeah. But the Victorians were very good on engineering. Yes. They've actually generated a brick arch if you look at the amount of stonework above, the massive weight that would do. Amount, and then you have this thin stonework. If you didn't have the arch, the arch spreads the load down the sides and stops the pressure coming down for it. So in modern day, you put a concrete lintel in. Yeah, of course. Or a steel beam. Yeah. But they'll see lots of arches all over the openings. Yes. And then just to spread the load. So it's more of it's actual design feature. So it's nothing to do with aesthetics. It's actually practical. Yeah, practical. So the weight is coming down like that and it spreads it out. Yeah. It forces it to the left and right, which is what you want. Yeah, to stop it. Amazing. Yeah. And because obviously they built all the railways and the bridges and things you see are all arches. Yeah. How clever. Yeah.
Because there are some, I've seen something somewhere where they do that with the bricks and it's self-supporting.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cool,
yeah,
isn't it? It's very clever.
You can just do it, and it can just.
And you've got to get it just right.
Yeah, there's no mortar, no nothing.
No, nothing. And then you can put a load on it.
Yeah.
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 All right.
You end up doing one at uni when you go to uni, engineering college. You do a timber one version of it, and you can stand on it.
Really? So you do it freehand, like no mortar or anything, and then you stand at the end.
Yeah, yeah, to prove that an arch works. But yeah,
that's brilliant. Okay. I guess buying one of these places, the benefit of being a structural engineer kind of pays for itself, doesn't it?
Yes.
all that university work.
It does, but also not to be scared.
Yeah.
It can be daunting. You can see, like you can see, because there's no floors.
Yes.
And no roof.
Yes.
I know there's a cost to that.
Every instinct in me as a developer screaming.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But I know to put a floor in here and stabilise it, yes, it's a cost.
Yes.
And to put a roof on it,
yes.
but I'm not rebuilding the building.
No.
And a lot of cost.
No.
Yes, we've got a lot of repair work to stonework,
yes.
which we know is going to cost a lot of money.
Yes.
But if ultimately the wall's solid, and sometimes you come across even more modern buildings, they're not as stable as this one.
Yeah, they're more far gone than this. In a sense.
Because the walls are so thick.
Yes.
They can allow for the walls to collapse. In modern buildings,
yes.
they're only 100 mil thick, so you're having to rebuild the whole structure.
Of course.
Which in a couple of our projects, we've had to rebuild the walls where we won't have to rebuild them. Our problem is actually trying to utilise the space.
Yes.
Because we're restricted.
Yes.
I don't want to be taking a wall down that's 500 mil thick.
Yeah, of course.
Because of the cost of doing that.
Yeah, well, that makes perfect sense. Actually, that's something I never thought of. These buildings were kind of designed to take a cannonball and not collapse.
Yeah.
So you could have a huge hole in one part of it and it not collapse. You just have to rebuild the whole.
Yeah.
Whereas in modern buildings, you know, if a modern house got hit by a cannonball, it collapsed.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've just got a little bit of cornice in there. Can you see?
Yeah.
In the corner. That's cool.
And a bit of the original paintwork.
And look, there's the plinth for fire for the fire above us. That's cool. And then you're absolutely right. Do you know what? I've done some projects, and except for the roof, Mike and MD Build have had to replace the floors.
Yeah.
They've had to replace all the windows. Well, you haven't got the cost of taking all that stuff out because it's already gone.
No, we don't. No, there's skipping costs.
Yeah,
there's no skipping costs.
There's no skip. Yeah.
But also, obviously, we're standing on like a collapsed.
I'm sorry for standing on your house, David.
Yeah, no, we're standing on part of one of the turrets that collapsed.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if we can.
So sorry, just one sec. So this has come from here, the front bit.
Yeah,
here,
the front facade.
Okay.
And the rest of the wall. So
okay.
We're hoping that we can reuse some of these stones somewhere else in the building, but also with the planners.
Yeah.
And we've got a good heritage architect on board.
Yeah.
We're talking about doing this as a potentially a glass box.
Right.
So
this is what you were saying, like an atrium. The view is amazing.
Which is going to make this apartment or two apartments have a really good view, but also we're not trying to make it a pastiche. We're not trying to make it look like it's old.
Yeah.
And I think as long as the planners accept that, and I think they will do, because again, it's a timestamp as well.
Yeah.
If we was to put it all back in modern, it wouldn't match.
No.
You'd instantly see all the modern stonework. Somebody's just going to say, "Oh, well, it's patchwork." It's patchwork.
Yeah, it's not great. I completely agree with you in that. Yeah. I think one of my frustrations sometimes, I've had some clashes with conservation officers, and it's because they believe that they seem to think that buildings have a story. They're like a storybook, and they seem to think the story's ended, but it hasn't. We're adding to the story now. It's just a new chapter. So you want that to be a new part of the building, because in 200 years it won't be.
No.
And they'll be like, oh, well, that was David Taylor from AWT or Partington's. You know.
That's what I want to achieve, is bring it back to its stage, but then it lasts another 200 years, and then it get used. Because at the moment it's at risk. If it wasn't for some crazy individuals, I wasn't one of the original people that decided to buy it.
I'm not judging you. I'm not judging. Don't worry.
I've got involved in it since, but as an engineer, I came and saw it.
Yes.
And gave me opinion structurally, and I can see the process.
Oh, so that's the relationship. So hang on. So the other guys, your partners, owned this first.
Yes.
They called you in as a structural engineer.
Yeah.
And then what? You fell in love with it and said, "Can I come on board?"
Yeah, kind of a little bit, but I was more dragged into it in reality.
Were you? Right, okay.
I did the original pre-application for the architecture, so we got that pre-app done, and then as you get more involved in it, you go, okay, I wouldn't have chose a place like this so far away from where I live, and things like that. But again, I can see if everything works perfectly,
yes, as it always does,
as it always does, you know, in construction.
Yes.
But it will be a perfect project. Yeah, it's going to have difficulties, and I'm not going to, any way, shape, or form, say to people it's not going to go perfectly.
No.
But ultimately, again, Anthony and James, who saw the thing first and got me on board, is their vision for what they want to do with it is commendable. They want to return it back to something.
Yeah.
Again, I think when they get the harsh reality of what it's going to cost.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and things like that.
It's admirable, but you don't want to go bust in the process.
No, and again,
some things just aren't for sale, like are too far gone.
Yeah, too far gone. But
I don't think this is one of them, by the way.
It's not. I don't think it's too far gone. It's just as long as we can maintain an adequate budget.
Yes.
For doing it, but don't go overboard that's necessary.
Yes.
There's obviously
there's ego comes into it then.
Yeah.
And actually it's like, well, look what I can do.
Yeah.
But you need to rein that in. I have that.
Yeah, for a part.
100%.
But again, I'm glad to be involved in it now. I mean, obviously it's interesting for me.
Yes.
I mean, how often do you get to come to a Victorian castle and get involved in it from early days?
Yeah.
I've been from when it's usually I'm brought on board quite late. Yes. But I've been involved in the planning side with this one as well.
So that's cool. That's from the start to end.
Yeah, and
amazing. So you said there's some houses at the back. Can we have a quick look at them? Is that all right?
Yeah, if you just go through there.
All right. Well, we'll turn this off so the builder doesn't have to fall flat in his face. So this is a modern extension.
Yes. This was like
when was this built? 70s?
Late 70s, yeah.
Late 70s. You see fire damage there.
Yeah. This was the morgue.
Right. Okay.
For when it was a nursing home.
Right.
So that was the 70s construction. And
Sefton Paranormal, they've obviously been doing Ormskirk, you know about that. Have you seen anything?
Yeah, well I've not seen anything, but everybody keeps saying they've seen stuff and people like that. But again, I mean, I don't like the fact that that's a chimney and this was the morgue. It's a bit of a...
Oh, right.
Obviously, yeah.
It's a bit naughty, isn't it?
Yeah. But again, we're going to, this is a bit we're going to strip down and actually demolish. Right, okay. Because it was an add-on building. And yes. We can try and make something out of it, but I don't feel it warrants. I think we'll bring the features back of the main.
I mean, it depends. It's structurally sound, and the brick underneath the render's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Would you not considering just knocking the render off?
We have looked at that.
Yeah.
But potentially, what we'd prefer to do is utilise and build a new extension here.
Right. Okay.
With heritage.
Okay. Yeah.
And get that developed.
Yeah.
But then you bring that facade back.
Yes.
So take something away to give something back.
To make it better.
To make it better. This is like the original wall back garden area. So
this is the external wall, and this has been added on.
Yeah.
Okay. So and these are the houses, are they?
Yeah, just through here.
What were these originally, David?
These are originally the servants' quarters.
Right. Okay.
And the kitchens and the
engine room.
Yeah. So there's obviously these are the rear of the building. These are the original servants' quarters, kitchens, that are basement area. So these are the ones which are going to be turned into like hopefully 5 individual residential units. Because if you look at the style and the nature, there's doors,
they lend themselves to
there's windows. Yeah. Which again, cost-wise, structurally, we won't have to do too much to it.
No. No, because it's all there. It's just dividing walls and roof, isn't it? Yeah. Off you go.
And.
Not many windows though, that's something that's going to have to be taken into consideration, isn't
it? We're hoping they'll allow us to put some extra ones in, but again, that's really discussion.
I think they're going to have to, aren't they? They've got to be realistic about, it's got to be usable.
Yeah, because like I said with the planning, we're fortunate in one sense, it's an as-is listing.
Yes.
So, to make it viable, we're going to have to do certain things.
I think if you've got a proactive authority, they'll help, won't they? They take a common sense approach.
Yeah.
What are the... With the lintels in the what's that for? Was there just like a lean-to or something?
Yeah, it was the walkway for the servants to get through.
Of course, yeah.
Get rid of
like in the old monasteries and things. Yeah,
just for them to walk from one room to another.
That's substantial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They
didn't want them to get wet.
Talk about over-engineered. Jesus.
Yeah, and then
you got some little stores and stuff.
Like sheds.
Yeah.
There's actually a staircase in there that was in the building that was quite a bit the original owner was going to replace.
Oh, right, he's put it there for safekeeping.
Safekeeping, but it's never been...
40 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
We did think about having that as a nightclub, but I don't forget planning in this area for that sort of thing. But
have you got all the utilities and stuff? Are you on the grid? Electric, water, waste?
Yeah.
Because I've just noticed you've got a telegraph pole there.
We got BT. We got all the services here.
Yeah.
The one the drainage is the one we're just going through the process at the moment, where we've got drainage we got somewhere we can make a connection to.
Yeah.
But we might. I want to do something a bit eco-friendly, so I'm going to do some swales,
cool.
and then bring all that into, because we've got such a amount of land.
Yeah.
The surface water we can put on there and have like a wetland area.
And it's running away as well.
And it wouldn't actually.
How many acres have you got?
Currently, at the moment, we don't own quite a lot, so we're in the process of discussing with one of the
local landowners to
try and gain this. We'll end up with probably about 5 or 6 acres in the end.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah,
because that's for future development and gardens.
And just for garden area and use and space. There's an actual main distribution service.
Yes.
Because of its previous usage, it's had a lot of power into the place.
Of course it has, yeah.
So there is a cable there, and it's cut off just in the tree line.
Right.
So it's got 3 phase. I think it's got probably about 500. I know the power supply here was more than good enough for the hotel that was here at one point, and the hospital, and the original house.
So it'll be plenty, yeah.
Again, we know with utilities, they'll say, I have to come from 10 miles away, I want 1.2 million, even though we know it's about 50 yards away.
Yeah, we'd like all your profit plus 10%.
Yeah, but again, that's...
It's a bridge to be crossed.
Yeah, it's a bridge to be crossed, and again, we've literally just this morning, we've had the arboriculturist round, and there's quite a lot of trees which are dying off. Yeah. So and I've talked about I want to thin the forest out.
I noticed it's overgrown and started to suffocate itself, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I want to thin it out so we can get keep the trees which is keep them going, and then also bring some woodland habitats in. Yeah. And stuff like that, because as a developer, strangely enough, I'm into the ecological side as well. So all the developments I've been involved in. Yes. I want to bring it back because it doesn't cost us anything if it's done right. No. And sometimes it saves us money.
Yeah, yeah. So why not do it the right way?
It brings it can bring other third parties on board, because if we was to build some ecology stuff, we can get the schools involved. Yes. And they can come and help, and guide,
learn, and
I support the scouts and the guides quite a lot. Right, okay. And they could come and do stuff. Oh yeah, and things like that. Bringing the community. We want to bring the community in this development, because I think because it's been left so long, the school kids could learn about their heritage. Yes. Just by doing a day school visit. Yes. Yeah. And then learn about ecology and wildlife and everything else.
Forestry. Yeah. How amazing! Oh, kudos to you. I think it's truly amazing. Yeah. Do you mind if you're willing to widen the road a little bit so I don't scratch my car next time? Yeah, definitely. I'm willing to come back and film some more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, definitely a deal. Because I must admit, I was a bit. When I came up today, it's been a few months since we've been. Yeah. But now we've had the summer growth. Of course. The first time we came, it was winter. Yeah. So it was all barren. Yeah. Now we've had the summer growth. We definitely need to trim that, because I know. Yeah. I don't. It's
a bit like the secret garden, isn't it?
Yeah. But it does give you that. When you come up that wow factor coming across that bridge.
Oh, absolutely, it's amazing. Yeah. And that's actually clever design with a lot of country houses. They turn a corner, and then there's the big reveal. Yeah. Yeah, it's clever. Yeah, but no. I can't wait. Good luck with the planning permission.
Thank you.
I hope you get the support that you deserve. Yeah. Will you let me know when you're sort of ready to break ground? And we'll come back and film? honestly. And then maybe we'll do the end?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Thanks.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to working on obviously a few more projects that we've got going ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I put a little snippet out yesterday. And
Did you?
Yeah, I put a little post out. Can't wait. But somebody said, I know where the town is now.
Right.
You know, Nicholas Street, which is going to be.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
It's going to be amazing.
As a structural engineer as well, it's a fantastic opportunity.
What a wow. Yeah.
You don't get opportunity.
Well, remember that when you're billing me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll leave that on there.
Yeah. Cheers, Max. We'll leave that there. Cheers, David. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.